All right, what is going on, everybody? Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys being a part of the post-game show here. Lakers over the Spurs, 125-109 the final score here at Crypto.com Arena. Just watched the ending of the game. Two-game winning streak for the Lakers. Good win for the Lake Show. Good win for the Lakers. It's a game they had to have. They were supposed to win both of these games over the weekend. I know we all were kind of hyping that up coming into the game against the Phoenix Suns and the game against the San Antonio Spurs, and the Lakers handle business. They do just that. So thank you very much for being a part of the show. Thank you for tuning into the post-game show. Got a lot to get into in tonight's show. We'll get a chance to hear from J.J. Redick. We'll get a chance to hear from Luka Doncic, who was phenomenal tonight. Austin Reaves was phenomenal tonight. And the Lakers handle business, do exactly what they're supposed to do, and get the win. Didn't get much help tonight, at least. Let me see actually some of the other scores. I did not see the scores. The only score that I saw was Denver winning. Rockets won. Pacers actually beat the Timberwolves in overtime. That will help the Lakers a little bit, give them a little bit of a breather there. And the Nuggets over the Golden State Warriors. Who would have thought that happened? And the Grizzlies lost. So, you know what? Maybe Lakers did get a little bit of help. They just didn't get help from the Denver Nuggets. So, a lot to get into. Obviously, a game like tonight does have implications in the standings. Let me just say this real quick. Coming off yesterday's game and playing the way the Lakers did in a 12:30 start, I'm going to cut myself off here real quick because J.J. Redick's talking. Let's get to J.J., and then we'll talk after that. Here's J.J. Redick on the win.
To kind of stem away from that and stay locked in on a back-to-back like this.
I thought there were stretches that we played good defensively. We lost, our way at the end of the third, start of the fourth when they went on that run. But the way we were able to generate good offense, and I think it was 48 threes and 34 were uncontested. Just our guys' ability to connect, and Luka leading that with 14 assists, but probably could have had 18 or 19. But to have another game with 30-plus assists, I thought our offensive decision-making and consistency, where we had four really good offensive quarters was great.
And then with Luka kind of doing his thing, you also had Austin attacking sometimes on the weak side, sometimes as primary. What did you make of how kind of deadly he was with what he was?
Yeah, I think just the Luka and having Austin as the next passer a lot of times. So when there were two on the ball, or they were double, or we're in a heavy shift from the nail, having AR there as the guy that can either shoot or create the blender with his thrust on his drives was really good. And then that group that was playing end of first, start of second with Dalton and Vando, just playing out of our horns, our movement stuff out of horns. We got some really good stuff. All of them.
To shift ahead to the next two, how much will you reference what happened on the road against those teams? Not even motivation, but you had different personnel as you prepare for the Wednesday game against Denver. Looking at that game you guys just had there.
Yeah, I think against Denver, you're going to reference it a lot because there were things that we did really well that we think we can emulate again, and then there were some things that we didn't do well. And particularly with that game, our transition defense has to be better. And then we have to do a better job of protecting the paint against Milwaukee.
JJ, I don't think you'll play a lot of games necessarily. We'll shoot almost 53s and 70% will be.
I was sorry. I lost you there for a second. I'm going to play no games. I'm not going to play any games. I'm done.
Feels more like a Mike question than one for me. But the thing I'm wondering is are you guys unlocking stuff offensively in terms of that was always going to follow kind of the defensive part of it, but are you seeing that guys are getting more comfortable playing with Luka, finding the right spots, the cuts, the when to flare and all of that stuff? And is this maybe a harbinger of the things you guys can be offensively?
Yes, and I think for us to fully unlock our team offense, we need to be whole. Again, going back to our group and their responsiveness to everything throughout the season, They generally have done an outstanding job. When we've challenged them on certain things, they've responded. I think Greg has done a really nice job with not a lot of court time over the last few weeks, and really breaking down on film what we want our spacing to look like versus blitzes and pick and roll versus doubles in the post versus doubles from the nail versus fires from the top. Like we've done some really good things against that. And then just if they're not going to double and they're not going to blitz, like our packaging around that has I think been good. And even in some of the games where we haven't necessarily had a great offensive rating, you can kind of attribute that to turnovers and missing shots. I mean, even just the last 2 games, our rim efficiency was really, really poor. I think we were like 10 for 23 at the half against Denver, and it wasn't great yesterday against Phoenix either. So I think it's all going to come together where, we're finishing, we're passing, we're taking care of the basketball, and we're making threes. But pleased with how we're able to generate good looks fairly consistently.
All right, we'll stop it right there. JJ had a lot to say right there. I had to let him finish. Let's get the post-game show started. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. All right, let me give my thoughts real quick on tonight's game, and then we'll start looking at some of the comments. If you got thoughts on the game, feel free to put it in. I know a few people already got their thoughts here, so we'll get into all that in a second. Real quick, let me just talk about the win overall. Overall, get a win, move on. The San Antonio Spurs don't have Victor Wembanyama. They don't have De'Aaron Fox. They should not be in a game against the Lakers, even with the Lakers not having LeBron's, not having Rui Hachimura. And really, by the time the first quarter ended, it was a comfortable lead. They're up 10 by the end of the first quarter. They're up 14 at halftime. They're up 19, I want to say, going into the fourth quarter. And were there some moments there where, the San Antonio Spurs were making it sort of interesting? Sure. But the Lakers were never in jeopardy of losing this game. Part of the reason why they were never in jeopardy of losing this game, I saw a lot of comments on there about Austin Reeves, talking about that rust of Austin Reeves. Yeah, that's definitely gone at this point. People were referring to that. 30 for Austin Reeves tonight, 12 of 21 from the field. Let me give everyone just a quick idea about Austin Reeves over these last, let's call it these last 5 games or so. Actually, let's call it the last 4 games. These are Austin Reeves' numbers in the last 4 games. 28 against Milwaukee on 59% shooting. 37 against Denver on 50% shooting. 28 against the Phoenix Suns on 48% shooting. And 37-6 tonight. By the way, I'm shortchanging him. The game against Denver, 37, 8, and 13. 13 assists in that game. And then tonight, 37-6 with a couple of steals, shot 57% from the field. Here's the good news with Austin Reeves right now is by the time he got back to the Lakers, he wasn't the same Austin Reeves. You can tell that the guy just wasn't Reeves. Efficiency wasn't there. Shot selection wasn't there. Making it happen the way he usually makes it happen wasn't there. Well, the good news now is that he's kind of finally back being the Austin Reeves the Lakers are going to need him to be. So great stuff from Reeves tonight. Certainly a performance that the Lakers needed from him. But more importantly, his big picture started to look more like himself. And I think that's the thing that I pay most attention to is you're getting a chance to see Austin Reeves back to being the Austin Reeves that the Lakers are going to need him for the final stretch of the regular season into the postseason. So something to keep in mind from that front. I thought he was phenomenal from that perspective. Looking at Luka tonight. Okay, Luka, offensively, I don't need to tell you guys, what happened to Luka tonight. He couldn't hit a shot. 5 of 20 from the field, was taking some tough shots. Still got to the free throw line, which I like to see. The 10 of 13 from the free throw line, 1 of 7 from the three-point line, struggled there. But this is where superstars are superstars. Let me explain to you what I mean here. You can have a really bad game offensively, but still control the game offensively. He had 14 dimes. He had 9 rebounds. He had 3 steals. Still had 21 points. I'm not telling you that it's a terrible efficiency from just an offensive perspective. That's terrible efficiency. You can't have 21 points on 20 shot attempts. So that obviously can't happen. But with that in mind, What you're not going to see from a player like Luka Doncic is, hey, my shot's not falling. It's going to affect my distributing. It's going to affect my ability to go out there and dish out 10, 12, 14 dimes. It's going to affect me getting to the basket and making sure I'm boxing out and grabbing some rebounds. So the bad news with Luka tonight is he couldn't hit a shot. The good news is he still affects the game, still controls the game offensively with his 14 assists and his 9 rebounds. So that part of it, I think you got to put into play as well as you talk about his game. A couple other guys I want to talk about. Jordan Goodwin, 33 minutes, 6 of 9 from the field, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Jordan Goodwin continuing to be a phenomenal player for the Lakers. Really, really nice to see Dorian Finney-Smith start hitting some threes. He shot 50% from the three-point line, a little bit more aggressive than he usually is. 5 of 12 from the field. Dorian Finney-Smith is not usually looking for a shot. He went 4 of 8 from the three-point line with 15 points. Gotta like that. Jackson Hayes continues his solid play. 9 points, 11 rebounds, couple of steals, a block shot. You take that all day long from Jackson Hayes. If it wasn't for Jackson Hayes getting 1 more point, all 5 of the Lakers would have scored in double figures. So that's obviously a great stat for the Lakers to have there. Some good help off the bench. Dalton Knecht continuing to kind of find a little bit of a groove here. Not perfect. I'm not telling you 4 of 10 and 2 of 7 from the field is perfect, but he had another 13 points. I want to look at Knecht here real quick. I want to see what he's done in his last 5 games. Here's Knecht in his last 5 games. 19 against Brooklyn, 10 against Milwaukee, 32 against Denver, only 3 against the Phoenix Suns, and back with 13. So I like that. We're spending a lot more time talking about Dalton Knecht in some of these post-game shows, and I think he deserves a little bit of that. That's really the stats that I wanted to pay attention to individually from some of these players for the Lakers. Vando, obviously, we know what happened with him. Played 15 minutes, got thrown out of the game. It's kind of the NBA, but I don't think Vando helped himself. You push it, you kind of shove a guy a couple times and then really shove a guy, you're going to get thrown out in the NBA. That's just kind of how it works. Hopefully Vando is not hurting himself. I mean, obviously the last thing you want to see is Vando put himself in a position where he's suspended for a game. I don't think he's going to get suspended, but I was not surprised that he was thrown out of the game. When the dust settled, Lakers got another win. 2 very, very key, important back-to-back W's for the Lakers. This was kind of non-negotiable. You had to get these 2 wins. And still, I'll keep kind of going back to it. The only loss that I'm upset about with the Lakers over this last 25 games, I know you could look at Charlotte. I know you could look at Utah. There was other games. The Brooklyn game is probably the only game that bothered me. That's probably the only game that I looked at and said, if they'd have just won that Brooklyn game, they would be in a phenomenal position. It's not that they're in a bad situation right now. I'm looking at the standings as we sit here, and Lakers got the Nuggets coming up on Wednesday. Houston 44-25, they're number 2 in the West. Denver 44-25, they're number 3 in the West. So clearly Houston's got the tiebreaker there. Lakers 42-25, they're 4th in the West. Memphis losing gives the Lakers the number 4 spot. Memphis moves to number 5. Got to be honest with everybody, it's not a terrible thing. I know Lakers want to move in a different direction, but the fact that Golden State and Minnesota took L's today, you got your 4 games clear of the Warriors, your 5 games clear of the Minnesota Timberwolves in the loss column. I think that just kind of solidifies Lakers, helps them make sure that they're one of the top 5 seeds by the time we get to the playoffs, whenever that happens here. So something to keep in mind from that perspective. All right, let's take a look here at a couple of the comments here. We'll kind of get things started. I got a couple things already starred here. Let's see what we got. Austin Reeves is now rust-free. CS, I might have looked at your comment here before I started that rust-free thing. You're right. Those are monster numbers that he's been putting up these last 4 games or so. It's critical for the Lakers. Critical for him. He's obviously a key piece of the Lakers. Lakers need him to perform, and for him to do what he did tonight was not even just tonight. Again, I'm not paying attention to just one game. I'm talking more from the perspective of that's 4 straight games where he was productive for the Lakers. Vando, the people's champ. All right, just don't get yourself suspended for a game. Can't have that happen. You do whatever you want. Obviously, he's the enforcer. He's the tough guy that the Lakers need in this lineup, and he plays that role, and he plays it excellent. I don't think he'll be suspended. I'd be shocked if he's suspended for a game. They need him. That's how important he is. Love that Vando doesn't joke around. Asari shook off that rust. Okay, I read that one. Let's get a couple of these supers in here. Slee, nice win. It's beautiful to watch Lakers basketball. Even though Luka didn't have a good night, he almost got a triple-double. This is JJ coaching, not Darvin. Just saying, take it away, brother. AR, first off, you're consistent on the channel. You're always here. You're always throwing these supers and the 10 spots. So I'm very appreciative of you. So thank you for doing that. Sometimes there is a positive when you could say, hey, Luka shot as bad as the Lakers did, and they still won by what was the final score? I already forgot the final score. They still won by 16, right? So there's some positives in that. You can say that, hey, Luka's not at his best. Lakers still get a win where it's not even close. So that's obviously something that you want to see, and you could take a positive out of that. Luka will continue to get better and better as he goes, and when LeBron comes back and Rui comes back and this team is at full strength, you're going to also see Luka kind of take his game to another level. All right, let's get another one in here. By the way, AR, thank you again for the super, brother. I appreciate that. The JJ coaching, not Darvin, I think that part's been very well established from Laker fans that and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, look at the Lakers' record right now. And I know they lost 4 games in a row. I'm not trying to pretend like they didn't. But they lost 4 in a row because they played really good teams and they didn't have LeBron James and a number of other players in that process. That's the main reason why they lost 4 in a row. It's not that they're not good. It's not that JJ can't coach. It's not that they're not talented. It's because they didn't have their guys. They're 17 games over 500. So there is also a lot has to do with the coaching piece of this. You're right. Coaching deserves a lot of the credit. And JJ Redick, I think, is definitely starting to get credit from a lot of people around the NBA, and he deserves it. Let's get another one in here. HH, nice enough to put a little super stick here. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the support very much. Thank you very much for that. Mitch Potter, Lakers were +8 in turnovers and +7 in steals. Mitch, Lakers just did what they kind of had to do against a team like this. Take advantage. They don't have their stars. Go get a W, and the Lakers did it. Here is Austin Reeves on the Lakers W.
I just thought we, played hard, stuck to the game plan, and we continue to build that chemistry. And I think you can tell by the way we're playing. Everybody's sharing the ball. Luka obviously causes so much, havoc for teams' defenses that the majority of the time you got to blitz him, and then you're playing 4-on-3. So it's a fun brand of basketball, and after a long road trip that we was really bad on, it's good to get home and get back to winning.
I know you talked to the guys in the studio about the 34 assists, but just in terms of the overall chemistry, without 2 of your starters, for example, how are you guys able to kind of make it seem so seamless?
I think it's just a next man up mentality. We got a lot of guys in here that know how to play basketball, and I think when you do create some type of an advantage, it just becomes about making the right play, and I feel like we've done that the last couple nights. So it's fun.
They don't often rely on you to have to score a lot. Tonight you had 30. What would you like to have that kind of an offensive game?
It's fun. I mean, I really just like winning at the end of the day, regardless of what they ask me to do. Like to win, and that's really the fun part about team sports is winning.
What's the thought getting Denver again so quickly after playing them to the last minute there last week?
We know we're going to come in and they're going to, be prepared, and it's going to be a war like it always is. They're a really good team that has really good, players that play really good together, and I feel like we have the same, and we got to be locked in and ready to compete on both ends.
Have the last couple of years, the postseason matchups, does that bring a different regular season feel to the game?
I don't think so. I think every game is, different, but you have the same mentality going in, and it's win. Obviously, they've kicked our ass the last couple, postseasons, and we want to return the favor, but you want to beat everybody you play.
All right, so You can actually see the standings right here. No, you cannot see the standings right here because I stopped sharing. See if I could just show this here real quick. Take a quick look here why they have it for a quick second. All right, there's the standings that I was talking about. Warriors losing to the Denver Nuggets. I was just looking at Nikola Jokic and noticing. I knew this coming in the game that they didn't play Nikola Jokic and they didn't play Jamal Murray in this game. And I'm looking at the stat line as we're sitting here. So you can see the standings. Lakers right there, number 4. Rockets, Nuggets, Lakers, Grizzlies, all kind of battling there for 2 through 5. Yeah, I was just looking. So next game for the Lakers, obviously they got Denver. Mitch, thank you for the super there. And HH, thank you again. I appreciate it. AR, appreciate it again as well. Okay, so I was just looking at the stats here. The Nuggets threw out Aaron Gordon, Hunter Tyson, Peyton Watson, Michael Porter Jr., and Russell Westbrook. And they beat Golden State by 9, who had, what they have, 8 wins in a row, something like that. They've only had 1 loss since Jimmy Butler got to the Golden State Warriors. So bad timing for the Golden State Warriors to take an L. I really didn't think that was going to happen. Aaron Gordon dropped 38 tonight. Michael Porter Jr. had 21, 10, and 5. Who needs Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray? Russ got 12 and 16 assists. Damn, look at Russell Westbrook's line. 12 points, 16 assists, 12 rebounds, 7 turnovers, and shot 5 of 18 from the field. You got everything from Russell Westbrook right there. You got the whole thing from Russell Westbrook right there. So anyways, with all that in mind, just kind of gives you a little bit of perspective on what else happened around the NBA today. And it's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be a really, really fun game coming up on Wednesday. I think it's going to be competitive. The Lakers, okay, this is the Lakers since they got Luka. I know this is a short sample size, but they won in Denver by 23, and then nobody plays. Reeves goes off in that game, and Lakers kind of blew a game in the last minute that they probably should have had. Probably should have had against the Denver Nuggets. This place is going to be rocking on Wednesday. I'll tell you that right now. I think this place is going to be a phenomenal environment. I think it's going to be a fun game. And Lakers will obviously have to play good ball in order to walk away with the W. I'm not telling you it's not going to be easy. I've been talking about this. Just can you split these next 2 games? I don't care which one it is. I mean, it would be nice to beat Denver because then you don't have to worry about, I mean, Milwaukee, you're not worried about the standings and you're not worried about tiebreakers and everything else. So I would just worry more about can you get a split and who knows what's going to happen on Wednesday. But I got to feel like Lakers are going to make it a very, very competitive game, even though they don't even have LeBron James. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here. Roken B, you're a good man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the 5 spot right there. Roken says, should we be worried about the Warriors with the addition of Jimmy Butler in the playoffs? No. Let me tell you why. I don't think we're going to face them. I mean, I guess you could do a 3-6 matchup. Yeah, I guess that could be the matchup. But I would still be okay with taking my chances against the Golden State Warriors. Warriors got a nice squad. I mean, don't get me wrong. Adding Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga's back from his injury. They got championship pedigree. The Lakers' big advantage that they used to have on the Warriors was size because they had Anthony Davis, but that's okay. I think that'd be a fun series. LeBron has done his fair share of damage against the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, Luka would get an opportunity. It would be, tell you what, ratings would be pretty damn good if that's the matchup. Here's the problem with trying to predict anything in the playoffs. Lakers could be playing Memphis in the first round. They could be playing Warriors in the first round. They could be playing Houston in the first round. They could be playing Denver in the first round. They could be playing Minnesota in the first round. There's still so many variables that are still left, and you got about just under a month of the season left. It's hard to kind of really predict what's going to happen here. So it's hard to really talk about matchups. It really is because you just got so many different still got so much that can happen. David Sabatini, thank you for the super, brother. I can't believe I'm saying this, but when healthy, Slee, don't you think we could beat anybody in this league, or is that crazy talk? Okay, let's go on a little crazy talk. That's okay to go on a little crazy talk. When they traded for Luka, I did not think they had a legitimate chance of competing for a championship. I now think they're one of 5 or 6 teams that have a chance. It wouldn't be a shock if you ended up saying to yourself, "Oh my gosh, can you believe this? Luka and LeBron got to the NBA Finals." Like, you can't say that that's a shock anymore. And the way the team is playing, and the way other guys have stepped up, and what JJ Redick's been able to do with the personnel that he has, and other guys playing a certain style, the trade of Dorian Finney-Smith, Vando coming back and being healthy. I don't think it's crazy talk. Do I think it's the most likely thing to happen? No, I don't. I think that it's going to be a great challenge to get there, but I also don't think it's crazy. Crazy to me is Houston got to the NBA Finals. Memphis got to the NBA Finals. And these are teams that are in the 2-3 seed, right? Or 2-4 seed or 2-5, whatever it is, right? But I don't think if OKC got to the finals, Denver got to the finals, even though I'm not crazy about their team right now. I say that, and they went on the road against Golden State. There's certain teams out there that just they got too many players that have been there, that have done it, have won NBA championships, got to the NBA Finals, that I don't think it's crazy talk anymore. So, David, I think you're just definitely got an angle there, but I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. All right, let's take a look at some of the other comments here. Let's let everybody else kind of chime in. Gilbert, Lakers-Celtics finals coming up. You don't think Adam Silver is praying for that every night when he goes to bed? Listen, a lot of things can happen. Cavs OKC could be your NBA Finals matchup. So as much as the NBA and the world would love to see Lakers Celtics, the 2 best teams in the NBA could very well be the Cavs and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now I would still pick Boston over Cleveland, but that could happen. Here's Luke on the Lakers win.
Austin, the weak side, all of those things. What's encouraging to you, and where do you feel like is the final piece?
Yeah, I mean, people start learning that at some point in the game, they're going to double team me. So, like I always say, I accept that. And I like playing that. Saves my energy. And, you just got to play 4 and 3. And I think guys are doing great out of that.
Luka, you guys played Denver Wednesday. Obviously, just coming off the recent game in Denver, but this franchise has history with them. I know you have a relationship with Jokic. Kind of how do you view them as a opponent to be reckoned with in the Western Conference?
Look, I think the team that has Jokic on is always dangerous. With him on the court, there's always danger, and it's hard to play against him. He knows all the tricks. He's an amazing basketball player, but that's fun. That's fun for us. That's a challenge for us, and it's fun. We like challenges, and I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah. Luka, JJ told us that I think 70% of the threes you guys created tonight were uncontested. Wide open. As Dorian would call them, butt naked, wide open, 3-point shots. For the shot quality to be that high on a night when you particularly didn't shoot it very well.
Not terrible.
What does that say about the potential for this offense? Also knowing that you've got, 40 points a game or whatever it is between LeBron and Rui on the bench waiting too.
It just shows the team we have. I think we share the ball very good. When we play with pace, it's very hard to stop us. And, like you said, open threes are, when you have that many open threes, you should win the game and you should make threes. So we just got to keep playing like that and share the ball like we do.
Last week, JJ told us that he wanted to get more off-ball movement, specifically for you and AR, installed into the offense. It seemed like you guys were able to get to that, not just tonight, but even last night, especially early in game. Excuse me?
For me, off-ball?
Yeah, like you coming off ball, like screens off the ball, and then eventually getting the ball.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm kidding.
What do those actions do for you and do for the team when you're able to operate that way?
Makes my life easier. Those sections that he put. There was one ATL today that we ran it twice, and it was just for an alley-oop. So that explains JJ's mind, the way he sees basketball. It's amazing. But just me and AR coming off the ball, it helps me and him and everybody else because we do it with pace, and it's hard to stop us.
All right, we'll stop right there. I want to keep going. I know there's a lot of comments we want to get to. Sometimes you hear players say certain things, and you ask yourself, like, all right, are they BSing here? I don't think Luka's BSing when he's talking about JJ Redick. Did you guys hear the way he was talking about JJ? And there's probably, I think one of the things in sports that you really, really just have to make sure you accomplish if you're a head coach. You can't lose your players. Your players got to believe that you're going to put them in the best position to succeed and to win. And if Luka Doncic is going out of their way, listen, I know it's still a honeymoon phase and Lakers haven't been in the playoff run. And are there going to be times where Laker fans are going to be questioning, why did JJ do this and this happened? What's happened to Phil Jackson? Happens to Greg Popovich. It happens to Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. Go down the list. I mean, there's going to be times where you're bitching and complaining about JJ Redick. It just kind of comes with the territory. But I really like Luka going out of his way to highlight what JJ is doing, saying playing off the ball. He's joking around. I don't play off the ball. But obviously what he's referring to and where he's going with it. That portion, I think those things matter. I think it matters a lot to have somebody like Luka complimenting JJ, and I don't think it's BS. I think it's real. I think it's genuine. I think there's a reason behind it. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. Okay. We're going to get into more of your guys' comments here in just a second. Start loading up those comments. I'm going to take a look at them. First off, I just want to talk a little bit about one of our partners here, the Wallace Firm, phenomenal partner of the channel, of the Sliwa Show, obviously the post-game show that we do here. If you are someone close to you who's been seriously injured or is dealing with the loss of a loved one, you should find out what legal options you have. You deserve the absolute best in the business, and that's Brad Wallace of the Wallace Firm. I was getting ready to go to his office tomorrow and do my show. I'm actually going to do it on Wednesday now, so we rescheduled it for Wednesday. Looking forward to sit down, talking with him a little bit, and I'm just so appreciative of the partnership that I have with him. These are the types of partnerships that help grow channels. It's as simple as that. If you or someone needs somebody like Brad Wallace, I can make a personal introduction right there to the owner of the company. I could send an email and I could do it on your behalf. Somebody I've known for 5 years that was with me when I was at 710 ESPN and here now following me on YouTube. So I'm appreciative of his partnership. And I also want to make sure that this platform is great for his business. I hope you never need him, but if you do, wallacewins.com/Sliwa, wallacewins.com/Sliwa to learn more. Get a free consultation. He could help anybody in the entire state of California. So thank you to Brad Wallace, and I'm looking forward to being at his office in a couple of days here. All right, let's start taking a look at some of the comments here. What else we got here? Us Luka people tried to tell y'all that Nico's win now talk was all BS. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about the Dallas Mavericks. I really have no idea what to tell you about the Dallas Mavericks. Nothing I could do there other than thank you. It's funny. I was sitting one of the gals I was sitting next to, part of the media as well, and we're talking about before the trade, the environment here, and after the trade. We'll see Kobe. It's Kobe Price. Kobe Price tomorrow morning at 8:30. OC Register. Covers the Lakers in the locker room, travels – the whole thing. He's going to join the show tomorrow morning at 8:30. We'll keep our Lake Show conversation going. But where I was getting at is we're talking about, her and I were talking about the environment here at Crypto. Before the trade of the Lakers for Luka, after the trade. This is the best way that I can explain it. I'm not trying to tell you that the Lakers were stale or people didn't like Anthony Davis. I'm not trying to tell you that at all. But what I'm trying to tell you is it revitalized the fan base again. It revitalized the organization again. Maybe it revitalized the NBA again. I mean, that's how big that trade was, and that's how big Luka is joining the most recognizable franchise in all the NBA, one of the most recognizable franchises in all sports. So that talk and whatever happened with Dallas and how we got here, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But do I believe it probably will go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history? I do believe that. I do believe that. I saw something on Anthony Davis today that he's going to be down in their G League trying to come back. I like that a lot. I think that's very, very smart for Anthony Davis and the Dallas Mavericks, that this man doesn't waste the rest of the season. If he's not healthy, he shouldn't play. But if he is healthy, I respect him trying to get back on the floor. I think that's a smart move by him. Luka and the Lakers are a match made in heaven. Yeah, that's kind of what I was referring to, kind of, pairing up that international superstar, top 5 player in the league when he's at his best, with a franchise that's as recognizable as the Lakers. Ball movement and player movement is better since Luka joined the team. Well, you got two, it was James Worthy that had the quote, Lakers have 2 Magics. Literally. There's 2 Lukas on the floor, or 2 LeBrons on the floor, or 2 Magics on the floor. 2 guys that can drop 30, 10, and 10 a night, and it's nothing. It's just another day in the office for them. ZJ, I want to see us versus OKC with LeBron fully loaded. Keep winning in the playoffs, you're going to get your wish because they're going to be there. Golden State has a very good team. We were talking a little bit earlier. There was a super on here about what we thought of potentially playing the Golden State Warriors. So that could definitely happen. Nelson Henriquez, thank you very much. He says, let's go Lake Show, a 5 spot on there. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much there. AR again, coming in with a super. Slee, am I crazy thinking that Goodwin just bought a spot for the postseason? I don't think you're crazy. And frankly, I think at this point, I'd be disappointed if he doesn't grab one of those roster spots. I'd really like to see him be a part of the mix for the Lakers. First off, I see J.J. Redick always saying something positive about him. I always see J.J. Redick kind of going out of his way to compliment certain players that you can't really equate on a box score. Goodwin's name comes up. He came up yesterday when they were taking on the Phoenix Suns. And then in a game like this, now you can look at the box score. You could look at his contributions and what he was able to do. 6 of 9 from the field, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. What more do you want from him? You literally can't ask for him to do anything more that he's already done for the Lakers. So I'm all good with that. I don't think too many people would be complaining about it. Here's another one here. Headache for anyone. No one wants to see us. Lakers would be, no question about it, they would be a headache. Of course they'd be a headache. They'd be a headache for many, many reasons, but they'd also be a headache because they got guys that really, really play tough. They got a bunch of role players that are okay with playing their role and playing, a physical brand of basketball. And then they got LeBron, Luka, and you could start throwing Austin Reeves into that mix as well. I know Reeves is not LeBron or Luka, but there are a lot of times Austin Reeves has important contributions for the Lakers throughout a game. I see what else we got. Let's see what else we got here. Chris Navarro, why did the Suns waive Goodwin? Chris, go watch the Phoenix Suns. Oh, my God. So bad. So bad. Have you ever seen a team with that much talent that doesn't give a flying F? Oh, my gosh. How bad were they yesterday? They're just out there, honestly, they're getting their cardio in. It's like they went to an open court, and they're like, you know what we're going to do today? We don't even care if we win. We just want to run up and down the floor and just get a little bit of get a little bit of our cardio in. All right, let's get a couple more comments here. Sir Charles must be flipping his screen. All Barkley has to do is just give the Lakers credit when credit is due. That's literally all he has to do. All he has to do is just give credit where credit's due. That's it. And then everyone else will be fine with it. And then he could kind of say whatever he wants. All right, let's take a look here. You know what? Jordan Goodwin's talking. Let's see. I might be too late, but let's see if we can get 1 or 2 answers from Jordan Goodwin.
And you just have, seems like all the space in the world or time in the world to shoot.
So that's why I be mad when I miss something. So I open, I be Yeah, we get wide open. They don't even contest it most of the time because you got everybody in the paint kicking it out. So I think though, right, definitely be butt naked open out there. So yeah.
How have you seen Austin just be a linchpin on offense for this team and just his energy on a nightly basis? Like, what has he meant to this team since you've joined it?
Always like they are. He came out of college and everything like that, but like he's our third option. But like I said, he's better than most ones, most twos in the league. So we got to keep on putting respect on our name because he's him. He's one of them ones. So yeah, he's one of the ones.
When did you realize he was this level of player, whether it's college or playing from afar?
That's my first time playing. I guarded him for the other 2 years. I was in the league, so I had to matchups with him and stuff like that. But it just shows. I mean, he's doing it. We think what game was Luka and Brown was out. What do you have? 36. Showed he can lead a team against the Denver Nuggets. So man, he's just that, and he keep getting better, and he keeps showing you everything he got.
All right, good stuff there from Jordan Goodwin. At least get a chance to hear from him. We haven't really got a chance to hear from him so far this season. I don't know if I've played him, actually. I'm not 100% sure if I've got a chance to play him yet. Let me read a couple comments here on Instagram. Score back up here. Lakers over the Spurs. Here's Instagram. What do we got here? Goodwin played some solid defense tonight. Dorian Finney-Smith knocked down some timely threes. Another one here, Reeves is that guy. So Instagram, thank you for being a part of the show as well. I appreciate that. Back to YouTube here. Okay, I got a quick shout out I'm going to give here. I started memberships maybe 3 weeks ago or so. If you want to be a member to the channel, I just put a link right here. You can be a member of the channel. It's $3 a month. It's a great way to support the channel. It's my way of kind of trying to connect to fans or fans of the channel a little bit more personally, I guess you can call it. Exclusive content, exclusive emojis that we put out there. So if you want to be a member, there's the link, $3 a month. Would love the support. Would really, really appreciate it. Or you could take advantage of people like KMIS*1, who yesterday gifted 10 memberships and tonight gifted out 10 memberships. I appreciate you doing that, brother. Very, very nice of you doing that. Very, very nice of you to support the channel like that. So thank you very much for doing so. I hope 10 people take advantage of that membership, and you basically you get to be a member for 30 days. All right, let's see what else we got here. Honestly, so many bench players have been stepping up since all the injuries. It's been looking great so far. Yeah, it's a little bit from everybody, right? One night it might be Gabe Vincent hitting some big shots. Another night it might be Dorian Finney-Smith tonight. Another night it might be, I kind of go down the list of different players. Jackson Hayes. I'm not going to count the Austin Reeves and some of these other guys. Dalton Connect has had some good moments. Jordan Goodwin's had some good moments. Trey Jamison III has had some good moments. So, Jay, I 100% agree. I think that's got to give Laker fans a lot of confidence, too, is you're not really depending on one player. By the way, teams that go deep in the playoffs, you just need different players to step up. So I've kind of spent some time. I've talked to you guys a little bit about this. In the past, go look at teams out there that made real runs. Go back to 2020, the run that the Lakers made. Aside from LeBron and Anthony Davis, you had Rajon Rondo, you had Avery Bradley, you had KCP, you had Alex Caruso, you had Kyle Kuzma, you had Dwight Howard, you had JaVale McGee, you had Danny Green. How many different players, how many different contributors did you have on that roster? Go back to the year the Lakers won back-to-back with Powell and Kobe. It wasn't just Powell and Kobe. You had D. Fish. You had Andrew Bynum. You had Lamar Odom. You had, just kind of trying to think here off the top of my head, you had Sasha. That's what it takes. It's impossible to be successful unless you have a team, especially in the playoffs, where you got a deep roster where you can depend on a number of different guys. All right, let's see what else we got here. Here, I'll show you this. By the way, I think I'm the last one in here. I think we're getting close to, at some point you get kicked out. At some point, you just can't be here. You can't just be here. This is not my home. All right, let's get a couple of these. Let's get a couple more of these in here. We'll get the hell out of here. All right. All right, Jay Cordy. Appreciate what you do, Slee. Go Lakers. Thank you, Jay Cordy. I appreciate you very much, brother. I appreciate the super very much. So thank you very much for that. Lord B-Ross is a new member. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being a new member. Greatly appreciate that. I appreciate the support of the channel. Let's get a couple more of these in here. So Jay Cordy, turn the lights out, guys. It's time to get out of here. All right, Anthony, here real quick. Slee, what are your thoughts on teams pushing the Lakers to shoot threes? Are the Lakers really going to live and die by the three? I think they can attack you with more than just the three. So I think the good news for the Lakers is they don't just need that to beat you. Lakers can win in multiple ways. I think the good thing for the Lakers is they're playing defense. They're getting stops. And because they're getting stops, I think it puts them in position where they could obviously do big things. Anthony, a 20 spot, very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that. It really, really means a lot. So thank you for supporting the channel, and I appreciate the 20 spot. They're turning off the lights. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. We're going to get the hell out of here. I had one on here, too. There was one other one that I wanted to see. Oh, Slee. I don't know if I can find it. I thought I had one in here. Okay, we're getting the hell out of here. For the channel here, right? There's our credentials, too. Look at us. We got our channel on here. There's Hoopstock. You guys want to get properly credentialed here? That's how we do it. Properly credentialed here at the Laker games. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. We went a solid 45 minutes, and we're done. Lakers over the Spurs, 125-109. Thank you for everybody for being a part of the show. I'm back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Kobe Price is going to join the show. Like I mentioned, he'll join the show in the morning. We'll continue to have the conversation, talk Lakers basketball, MLB. Baseball starts tomorrow. Obviously, the Dodgers and the Cubs out in Tokyo. We'll talk a little bit about that. I want to hit on that Anthony Davis stuff that I was talking about as well. So we'll do that as well. Thank you, everybody. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.